Hi everyone! It's been a while. I was so busy with our home renovation and also setting up our new clinic. So this is the view from my office. And now this clinic is at downtown Vancouver, right across from St. Paul Hospital, which is right. It's where you can see, or maybe the other way. Anyways, so this new clinic is a lot bigger and it's more flexible, so it's easier and easier to manage patients, and it's my own space, so I can do anything I want to it in here. So I kind of decorated based on my likings. Anyways, so the next couple weeks we're gonna go through a couple of cases of patient who has sleeping disorders. But before we get into that, I would like to introduce a very important concept. Is about where does our energy come from? You know, the energy that we use to wake up in the morning, to go to work, to do exercise, activity, play sports, or do anything, just the energy to maintain our activities, and also the energy that keep us alive. So, so if you can look at this diagram here, this is our body, and this is battery number 1, and this is battery number 2. So battery number 1 comes from our parents, the energy that they gave us when we are conceived. So it's in our DNA, and the capacity of this, our battery number 1, depending on how healthy our parents were when they conceived us, and also due to some genetic reasons, some people can have bigger capacity or some people can have smaller capacity. So this battery stores the energy that we use from the moment that we're born to the moment we die. Sorry. Anyway, so this is what we use for throughout our lifetime, and the only restriction that this battery has is that we can only take energy out of it. We cannot put energy back to it, so it's not rechargeable unless you have some way to recharge this battery, and you will find a way to keep us alive forever. So then you'll be very rich. Anyway, so before you discover that, let's talk about battery number 2. Battery number 2 is responsible for storing energies for our daily activities. So every day we draw a little bit energy from battery number 1 into battery number 2, and to store energy here, and also and then to supply our body for the daily activities. And when we go to sleep, when we rest, and when we eat, we can supply this energy back to battery number 2. So battery number 2 is actually rechargeable, and you can see the size is a little bit different. So this is for our daily activity, this is for our life. So imagine this battery has maybe like 1 million units of energy. And battery number 2 has, let's say, 100 units of energy for our daily use. So now, when you're for example, when you go to work, you play sports or do whatever activity, you take energy out of this battery for your daily activities. So this is how energy is drawn to our body, so we can use it. And then when we eat and when we rest and sleep, we can put energy back to battery number 2. So it's a good cycle that we are using some, we're putting back some. So we never deplete this battery completely. So we can always maintain this battery closer to its full capacity, 100 units. However, when you're using a lot of energies but not putting back as much, you're not resting as well, you're not sleeping well, or you're not eating well, you're not eating nutritious food, then this battery capacity, the battery life can be depleted. So maybe you're at 50% when you're really tired. So normally we're able to put energy back, but if you continue to, maybe you're working out every day, you're work full-time job, and then you have kids to take care of at home, you're drawing a lot of energy from this battery to our use, but you cannot put back as much as you use. So for example, you're drawing 80 units of battery power per day, but you're only putting back 30, then you're going to be short of 50 every day, right? So if you continue doing that for a couple of days a week, you're going to run out of battery on the battery number 2. So if you continue doing that, you don't rest, you don't eat well, your body still needs this energy this battery to supply your daily activities. You're going to start drawing more energy from this battery that you use for your lifetime. So, for example, if this battery is designed to use for 90 years, but you continue to overspend every day for months, years, you're gonna actually decrease your lifespan to maybe 80 years, or to even shorter years. Another scenario would be maybe you're still able to use it for 90 years, but towards the end of the lifespan, you're not able to use them as much because it's already depleted. You're maybe sick all the time. You're not healthy. You're not feeling energetic. You cannot do anything. You can't even walk. You have difficulty breathing, or you're just bedridden. So that's not a very good thing. And another important concept is that when we introduce caffeine to our body, sorry, I don't know, I forgot how to spell caffeine. Anyways, if you introduce caffeine to our body, it's going to increase the energy withdrawn from the battery. So instead of drawing maybe 50% a day, you can withdraw 80% a day. So you're drawing more power from the battery number 2, but because you're still resting and eating the same way, and you're only putting back the same amount of energy that you were withdrawing. So for example, you're drawing 50% of energy originally, with the first arrow, and putting back 50%, and you're still at an equilibrium, so you're not harming your body. You still feel okay, you don't feel tired, sleepy all the time. But when you introduce caffeine to the body, it's going to increase this flow, so maybe 10% more with each arrow, so you're drawing 70%, but you're still putting back 50%. And maybe caffeine is affecting your sleep or your diet, and you're not resting or sleeping as well. This might decrease down to 40%. So imagine you're doing this every day. By the time you're from Monday to Friday, you're doing this for work and for kids, for whatever, and by weekend you're going to be exhausted. Luckily, if you're able to sleep enough on the weekend, you can still replenish some of these energies lost during the week, and by Monday you might be able to function again. But if on the weekend you still have to deal with other stuff to draw more energy, then Monday you're gonna still feel like crap, very tired. And if you continue doing this for a long time, you'll notice, okay, the battery power is now very low. You need to drink more coffee to withdraw more energy from battery number 2. So more coffee. So more coffee gives you more energy, but what's going to happen to this battery? So in order to maintain our daily function and to maintain the battery capacity here at that battery number 2, you're going to start withdrawing energy from battery number 1. So at least we can still eat, breathe, walk, stand, wake up from our sleep, right? And to work, to take care of our children or whatever. So eventually, like I said before, you're going to deplete this battery. So another thing is that when you have too much caffeine in our body, caffeine is a stimulant, right? So our body is always excited. We're always excited. We cannot, the resting function of our body cannot calm down. So in terms of Western medicine, is the sympathetic nerve is the energy that stimulates organ functions and our body functions, and parasympathetics is to calm us down, so to help us sleep, to help us rest. So if you have too much caffeine in our system, then you're always excited, you cannot calm down. And that can be a problem too. Then this means this recharging function is not as good as it used to be, and you're constantly slowly drawing energies from this battery. So that's why I don't recommend patients to drink coffee. And if you drink it if you just like the taste, if you drink it, a few times a week, I think that's okay, because it's not a habit that you must drink it. But if you're at a point that you have to drink coffee to keep you awake, to keep you from falling asleep, to give you enough energy to work, then you might need to rethink drinking coffee again, because that coffee will affect your sleep. Plus, there is another research that was done in recent year, I think it was 2017 or 2012, I can't remember. If you're receiving acupuncture treatment, caffeine will reduce the therapeutic effect. So caffeine will reduce the pain relief from acupuncture treatments. So if you're getting acupuncture treatments and you're also drinking coffee, basically you're just wasting money. You're not getting the full therapeutic effect. You're not getting the full benefit of acupuncture treatments. So that's my short explanation of how energy works. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I will answer them when I have a chance. And we'll see you next week. And next week we're gonna talk about a case where the patient has had a sleeping disorder. So bye for now. See you.